So today I'm going to be replacing my control arm bushings. I noticed when I got the car that the steering did not really feel as precise as I felt it should be. It felt a little bit vague. And I also noticed that when I would brake, the car would sort of unpredictably pull just a little bit to one side or the other. As well as when I would sort of sharply tap the brakes, I'd feel sort of a faint thud. So the owner said that the control arm bushings looked fairly new, and he was right. They did, just upon inspection, look pretty new. But when you actually come down and look at it, when you pry on the wheel back, I don't know if you can see this. Let me set the camera down. The wheel deflects backwards quite a bit. So that's your braking instability and that thunk that I'm hearing and, well, just sort of feeling more than anything when you sharply tap the brakes, is this deflection. As the wheel's moving backwards, control arm bushing is deflecting inwards, and that's also screwing up the steering geometry, so it's sort of swerving all over the road. I'm going to go ahead and replace those today with the Mela, however you pronounce it, the Mela heavy duty versions. Supposedly the OEMs are fluid filled, so they do not last very long. The Melas are solid rubber. And a bit more durable. And they're pretty cheap, at like $80 for a pair, including the new brackets, so you don't have to press them in and press the old ones out. So let's take the old one off and inspect it, and we can compare them. Okay, so you got the shield off. I pulled the bolts out, and as you can see, it's quite a lot of play in this control arm bushing. I found it wasn't really necessary to use a gear puller to do this. The mileage may vary. Basically what I did for the other one is I sprayed a PB blaster around it, which may or may not have been necessary. I kind of took the screwdriver. This is it's a good little jamming screwdriver because it's got a full metal rod through it, so you're not actually, like something like this, if you try and hit on the back of it, it might just deform the plastic and destroy the screwdriver, but this is pretty safe to do so. So I ended up just kind of hammering this in and jamming it around to sort of try and break it free. After that, basically get two of these suckers right away. See it is slowly coming off. I don't want to because I'm jamming against that, but you get the idea here. If you don't use equal pressure, it's not going to be nearly as easy, because it's going to want to deflect and bind. But there you have it. So here the culprit is out of the car. So you can see it does appear fairly new. Not sure if my camera's focusing very well, but I can deflect it with, well, 2 fingers, which is pretty sorry. This thing is supposed to take about, what, a G of cornering, and maybe a little bit more of braking for half the 3,000 pounds, 3,300 pounds of this car. So if you can deflect it with 2 fingers, that's going to be bad news all around. Here's a replacement for comparison's sake. I really can't do much. There's a tiny bit of play in it. Again, it is an OEM replacement part, so it is going to have some play in it. It's supposed to isolate you and all that crap. And this one is solid rubber, although, well, not solid rubber as in the whole thing is filled with rubber. That'd be great. But as I recall, this one's supposedly fluid filled somehow, so that's going to give it a little bit of softer. It's not going to last as long, their claim for this one is not that it actually improves steering feel or road feel or anything like that, or responsiveness, but it's supposed to last about twice as long, which is nice. And they're relatively cheap. It was like $80 a pair, including these brackets, so I don't have to try and press the old control arm bushing out and then press the new one in, have a shop do that. This just comes pre-pressed with a brand new bracket for you, for, you know, like $20 a bracket, which honestly I just felt it was worth the effort. So anyway, how I'm going to install this is really simple. Basically, you just get some dish soap and rub it on the inside, rub that on the control arm, and you can pretty much just press it on. And I don't mean with a press, I mean with your hands. Mine, I was just able to slide mine right on. So it's fairly straightforward job. The hardest part is really just prying the old bushing off, as long as you get these brackets and you don't have to press in and out of bushing, because that's not a whole lot of fun. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and do that and give you a comparison shot of the play in the wheel afterwards. I suspect most of it will be in the steering rack and not in the control arm bushing. So, got the new control arm bushings in. Torque spec for those is 47 Newton meters, which for us Imperial guys is, I think, 34 foot-pounds. And as you can see, no deflection whatsoever. So that should help stability and just fun in general, which will be nice.